All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Dr. T's podcast, success story series. Today we have a very special guest, Sharon Mish, who successfully completed Dr. T's weight loss program, which is powered by Nutrimost. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
And of course, we have Dr. T himself. Welcome, Dr.
Hello,
T.
hello. Yes, how are you?
So, Sharon, if you could just give us a run through of how the program worked for you, what your experiences with it were, and your thoughts on it.
Okay, well, my thoughts is this is an awesome program and it works from the get-go. I was at a place in my life in 2016, August of 2016, where I knew I needed to make a change. My blood pressure was high. I was not functioning well throughout the day, the week, with my family and with my job, and I needed to make a change. And I knew that change medically had to be to lose weight and change my health. I had sought out many other programs before this that were temporary and very short-lived. But when I went to Dr. T's office and met with Tara and the staff there and was introduced to Nutrimost, I was really encouraged, and from the beginning felt that this sounded like it made sense, like it was going to work. I'm a registered nurse, so I understand how the body works, hence the reason why I knew I needed to make the change for my own health. Well, it was amazing for me. Sure, there were days sometimes that you have your challenges, but right from the beginning, I started losing body fat that I couldn't believe how it fell off my body by just following exactly what they recommended doing. After a period of being on a 40-day program, I had lost the first time the 20 pounds they said would come off. I was like, wow, if this is going to work, I'm going to keep going. So, the program has worked to get your body and your metabolism in the place it needs to be to work the way it was designed to work. So again, following the protocol and giving it the stages of the program and following what they recommend, it kept stabilizing and coming off and stabilizing and coming off. And I, over that first year, lost a period of a total of 80 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And that was in 2016. So here we are, fast forward 2020. And I am actually in better health and have lost more inches even since that 80 pounds have come off.
Very impressive. So what was your your general diet like before and after the program?
Well, one of the best parts about this program, and this is what made it work for me and click for me, was that the diet itself is real food. So it wasn't a gimmick, something prepackaged that maybe had lots of processed or things that were not good for your body or that would temporarily work, but then your body would rebound after. This program was real food. And it taught me and my family, I mean, the benefits have spilled over. Even if they haven't been on the program, they have benefited by learning to eat wholesome, real food. It basically was meat or protein, vegetables, and fruit twice a day in a portion that's designed based on the program for your body and the type of foods designed specifically for your body. So this program was basically, it's like an ID identified specific to your needs, specific to your medical conditions, specific to what your body needs to be able to lose and get the metabolic system that is unhealthy back to a natural state. And so, we mixed up the foods. It wasn't boring because it requires you to mix up foods, but in an ease, a point at which you can go to the grocery store or you can find what you need where it's accessible to you. It's not like you have to wait or purchase or spend a lot of money on the food. And then the result of that is your basic living in your life becomes the healthy, natural way to live, even when you're not on the strictest part of the program, when you're on the maintenance or the everyday life, I call it, part of the program. And then your husband, your children, your grandchildren, they watch what you're doing and they follow suit, and everyone benefits.
Very, very interesting. So, in terms of your activities and your lifestyle, I mean, do you find yourself more active these days because of your improved health, or how has that gone?
Oh, absolutely. I went from having arthritis in all of my joints, having to have double knee replacement when I was at a heavier weight, to now at the point where I am full-time nurse, I am full-time mother and full-time grandmother. I am exercising
Wow.
Pilates 3 times a week. I walk in my neighborhood a mile almost every day. I am so excited about the amount of energy that I have. I sometimes drive my husband crazy, but I'm fully functional, and really thought it was the end of me 4 years ago. And now I feel better now than I did when I was in my 30s.
Amazing. Really, really, really good to hear that. So, insofar as the coaching, who coached you during the course of the program?
Well, the whole staff at Dr. T's office is amazing. I mean, they're all well-versed and have either been through the program themselves or have been, educated and well-versed in it. But specifically Tara and Robin and Dr. T.
And who was your favorite? Doctor.
I'm not
Okay, you
giving,
can tell.
that's not fair. That's not
That's
a fair
not-
question.
We all know it's Tara. That's
There.
okay.
Well,
She's an
Tara,
amazing young lady. She
Tara
does
has been
great
the
job.
go-to, yes.
Yeah.
And she's still available to us. If I need to text her or I have a quick question about something that's changing for me, she's right on the ball and able to give you that answer. But even Dr. T and Robin, and Dr. T, I trust medically more, or nutritionally, wellness really, wise, because he's able to key into where your body's at and what you need, and he can do those. I don't know what you call it, Dr. T, when you take the nutrients and you can tell what the person needs in their body at the time.
Yeah, it's a type of functional testing that we can do aside from the traditional testing that we provide, but it's like an applied kinesiology type of muscle testing, and it's really like being able to talk to the body and just but that's based upon the information that we gather from the beginning about your specific metabolic type, what's going on with your system, and then finding out where the holes are if you want to use it. So giving you the specific nutritional supplementation to say, okay, well, the thyroid's not working, the adrenals are off, they need some support for the kidneys, their liver, their heart, and then also utilizing the homeopathics to help detoxify the body, and then increase the mineralization, and then you putting the body into the hyper accelerated phase of fat burning with that specific homeopathic formula over the 40 days. So it's not one thing, it's a combination of nutraceuticals, homeopathic, customized diet, and then even additional things like the hydromolecular, which changes the body pH and brings the body to a better state of functional activity, reducing inflammation. So it's a combination of different things working synergistically, but specifically geared for each person. There's no one particular application for every person. And that's where we get the information. If you remember going through the tablet information and going through the questionnaires and doing the body composition tests and checking cortisol levels with saliva and a multitude of different things that we utilize to show us the information we need so we can better help you and the clients that we serve.
And the other part about it too is it's not like he just said, not a one-size approach, but even from the beginning for you. So once it's specific to your body, just because on day 1 or 2 it's specific to your body at that point, it's a living, breathing communication and interaction with the staff and with your coach. So each week or even each day when you need to check in, it's like, what's going on? So if there's changes, I remember way back in 2016, when I started, I was going through a really hard time with my job. I was stressed out and I ended up with shingles. But I got through the program with Dr. T's help and the support staff with what my body needed during shingles on the program. And I still lost the weight. And I actually got through the shingles without medications, without what the medical doctors thought was best for me, which really wasn't. So that gives you an idea of how it is holistic, it's wellness, and it's well-rounded, and it's specific to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for those words of inspiration, because unfortunately, the information that most people get about their health is really when you're sick, you take care of yourself. The aspect of prevention has kind of been garbled because the information I feel, and I know you as well, is not always, let's say, the most appropriate thing. I mean,
Right.
that's not condemning the medical profession. They do some great things, but the fact of the matter is they're not well versed in nutrition. They're not well versed in a lot of the things that we're utilizing to help people get to that better level.
Right.
Emergency
So
medicine, you break, you cut, you're in an impaired status, you're in a crisis situation. It's a fantastic thing to have the medical community available. But when we're really talking about the aspect of health and wellness, they haven't quite gotten it yet. And that's what the years of working together and learning, from different practitioners of all aspects, healthcare has brought us to be able to formulate this program and being able to present it to the community to make such a significant difference in a relatively short period of time. I think that
right.
that's a critical factor. You're not on a diet for the rest of your life. You do the program, you lose the weight, you then reset for 24 days to lock in that metabolic effect. We're really kind of reprogramming the body. And then after that, you're following what we'd like to say a healthier lifestyle. We could use the term maintenance. And
Right.
also knowing too that, we're all human beings and we're going to enjoy some of the things that are not always the best for us, but it's part of being a person, whether it be an alcoholic beverage or some chocolate or cake or what have you, or slice of pizza. It's really kind of learning portion control, the amounts of different things, when to back away from it. And what's the great thing about the program is that once you set that metabolic rate, it really gives you the opportunity to get back to that so much faster. And people that try and do standard diets don't have that effect. And that's
Right.
a
And so,
critical factor.
and that really, I can say for me, because now it's been 4 years, that is exactly what worked for me. So in other words, I lost the weight, I kept it off, I worked on, my metabolic rate to keep it where it needs to be, and then knew what foods or learned what foods I'm sensitive to, what things if I choose, we're all human. We all choose to, whether it's a special occasion or whether it's just we decide to overindulge and make a poor choice. I've always been able to reset, go back to a short part of the program, the 10-pound part. And I recently just did it again. So I feel like once or twice a year, if I get to that point, I'm very comfortable and really happy for the trust in the program that you can go on that for for me, it was going on the 10-pound program. I just recently did it. And I was shocked that the first week I dropped 7 pounds. And I'm like, I'm already pretty much, at my weight point, but I inched up. But I had gained body fat from having too much wine, body fat from, so many family birthday parties coming up and a piece of cake here and there. Not that you can't have it, but your body eventually needs sometimes a reset. And it worked so well. I feel so much better right now than I even just did 3 weeks ago. And, it's like, okay, good. I'm set to go now for another 6 months or a year.
Right. And you know what? The bigger factor, I think, right now that's hit each and every individual on this planet is what's going on in our society with a
For sure.
pandemic and the stress associated with that and the loneliness that people are going through and the overindulgence in lifestyle. I mean, we've queried with joking around, but people, like the quarantine 15 or the COVID 20. I mean, there's been a lot of people because of the situation that they've been experiencing that they put weight on for not sometimes dietary choices, of course, are a key factor. But when we really get into the basis of it, we're looking at hormonal levels changing in the body and almost being able to reset that through the program, change the gut, the dysbiosis or the inability for that body to digest and assimilate the nutrients just based upon some type of stress and everything else that's going on.
And reduce that inflammatory response because,
Huge.
whether it's COVID or anything or any other medical condition, you need to either reduce it or get it out of your system because that inflammatory response is, I don't even know the word, but it is something that you definitely need to put at bay in your body.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Inflammation is actually part of the repair process of the body when it's under stress. The problem is it gets stuck there and it doesn't know how to shut down and it gets back into hormonal imbalance and gut imbalance. Things like, there's a term, metabolic endotoxemia. The simple term for it is called leaky gut. And, your gut is an amazing thing. there's still not enough really portrayed out into the world of healthcare, especially in medicine, about how important it is with the proper gut flora and the different things that we talk about, prebiotics, probiotics, eating the proper things, avoiding some of the things that negate that all the time. And even if we do it, backing away, not making it a habitual situation. So it's a huge, huge factor. And whether you have 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 100 pounds to lose, based upon what your challenges are, the program can get you there if you follow it appropriately. And we know that basically some people lose 10 or 20 pounds in 40 days. Some people have lost 40 pounds. It really is just based upon their body's response to what's going on. So it's not like you got to try harder. You do the best you can. You follow it. There's no breaks. There's no cheat days. And if you do make a mistake, you can get right back on the horse again. But, we tell people like, look, this is a finite period of time. And this is very serious. And this is going to change your life. The weight loss is a side effect. We're talking about getting your body to a better state of health and function. And we all know that all health comes from within. So the fact of the matter is that to make our bodies metabolically and healthier and stronger, regardless of what's confronting us, will be the best way to confront some of the ills of the world, especially with what's going on right now in the world that we live in.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. T, I believe you're running a Black Friday special that's extended for the entire month of November.
Yeah, we are. We do this once a year, basically around Christmas time, going up from the holiday season. Here's the reason why we do it. One, we know that people truly get themselves in trouble from Halloween through New Year's. I'll just have one piece of candy, and then it becomes two pieces of candy. Sugar is one of the most addictive, incredibly satisfying on some levels, but such a detrimental thing to us in so many different ways. It's like a drug, basically, and it really is.
It's interesting how when you start the program again, how the sugar you don't crave it. Like, it shocked me that how you literally from the beginning, within the first couple of days, you already lose that craving, and you can easily do without it. The program is set up to make it successful for you to be able to do that.
That's so true. I'm glad you share that with people, because your craving changes, your dietary desires change. You really, truly get to absorb and feel the taste of different things that you're eating, the vegetables you're eating, the fruits that you're eating, the meats that you're eating, making healthy choices and avoiding things, and how much you enjoy that. And you don't feel the need to even want to those things. People,
and they taste better. The healthy food tastes better.
Isn't it amazing?
I couldn't believe it. It's like I never knew what something tasted like as a child that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And even when I was my heaviest, I didn't like any of those foods. And now I can honestly say I enjoy my green foods and my healthier foods.
Oh, yeah. Your palate actually changes dramatically during this program. And the great thing about it is that it's a sustainable situation, because for the most part, what happens if you start to indulge too much in those bad foods, let's just say, you don't feel good. So the first thing he says that, hey, you know what? This is just not worth it to overdo it. And let's back away. Okay, I'll have that cake, but I'm not going to eat the whole cake, half the cake. I'm going to have a slice of pizza, not a whole pie. I'm going to have a couple of glasses of wine as opposed to a bottle of wine or something like that.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And
or even to the point where someone says to you, you say to yourself, because you don't feel good, which is just the reason I went back and did a 10-pound. I knew I inched up about 7 pounds or so, right? Everybody's telling me, you look great. You lost all that weight. You're crazy. Why would you want to do that? And I said, because I know my body now, and I know how I don't feel like I should. And I know I need to do this. And as soon as I did, my body responded in the positive way, because the program works.
Right. And that leads us right to what I said before. This time of the year is such a critical time period to not overdo it. And then if you add on top of what we've been going through for the last 6 to 8 months, it's going to almost be a year, that we're living in this pandemic world and all the crazy politics and everything else that's going on. It's an amazing amount of stress. We handle it better. We deal with it better. It doesn't mean that, we just put our head in the sand and block everything out. No, we look at the challenges before us, and we're able to deal with it better. And that's the essence of health. That's the mental capacity of well-being. Huge.
I'm dealing with it because I'm a nurse out there taking care of COVID people since the last year. So it's the only way I could deal with it. I never would have been able to do this 4 years ago. That's for sure.
And there, you know what? And there is reality. Thank God for people like yourself helping those who are infirm. The thing now is, let's teach them a way of trying to do something that they can start taking responsibility for their health, and they can get through these situations and be healthier people.
Right.
So this Black Friday event is not just Black Friday. We used to start it where we did it one day, we did a big sale, we lowered the prices to the lowest of the year. Now we're doing it the entire month because we want to help a lot of people. A lot of people need help. And you know what? We help dealing with the economic factor right now, so people can save up to almost $400 off the original price of the program when we started. And, it makes a big difference. So, we're available to help people. They have to take the first step by getting in touch with us. The information will be posted on this podcast. And, thank you once again for sharing with us, because people like yourselves, I mean, I could sit here and tout it all day long, but then people think, well, you have an ulterior motive. You want to make money off of it. I say, you know
Right.
what? That's part of the issue. But the reality is I wouldn't do it and put the time and effort into it and help people get through it along with
Well, let me
myself.
just say on the
That's
cost
huge.
factor, because the cost factor was my first thought in the beginning. But let me just tell you, over the 4 years being on this program, it has saved me a lot more money in medical costs than it cost me to be on the program. That's for sure.
Well, I tell people sometimes, I say, look, you're dealing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. I mean, any one single situation can not only put you into an infirm status that can possibly lead to an early demise, but could lead you to an emergency crisis. Let me tell you something. Go into the emergency room, as you know, and the average bill is going to be $10,000 plus. So the reality is that, yeah, it's, you better take care of yourself. That's what it comes down
For
to.
sure.
Because that
For sure.
economic factor can be bleeding on you for the rest of your life. And as we know right now, what do they say? Credit card bills, college tuition loans now, and medical expenses are what are destroying and bankrupting these people in this country right now. So this is a big factor where people can really make a difference in their health, not only now, but in the future. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course, I'm happy to, and I hope that those that are hearing can really make a change. It is in my heart to hope that people will try the program, and the word "try" means I know it's going to work.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing
You're
your
welcome.
experience.
You're welcome. It was great talking with you guys.
We'll have links in the description below, and thank you all, and have a good evening.
All right. Thanks once again, Sharon, and thank you, Greg. You all have a great evening. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Good evening. Bye-bye.